What's up guys, Fish Keepers here once again with another video. This time I'm going to introduce you to a new tank. This is my new, to me, Marineland silhouette. It's new to me, it's not a new tank, it's actually used. But I got a good deal on this, I got a killer deal. I was at a swap meet, I go regularly to swap meets because I also sell at swap meets sometimes. Part of my other hobby slash part-time job. So I get first dibs on like anything at the swap meet before anybody gets there, because we set up like at 4 in the morning and stuff. So if you want to, you can set up, or you can go walk around and see what you find. So sometimes I walk around, see what I can find. And this time I saw this guy, I guess he had just bought like a storage unit or something like that. He was just trying to sell a bunch of stuff. So I asked him, how much do you want for this tank? And he was like, oh, $6 or whatever. And already I was like, that's a good deal. But look, we're at the swap meet. I'm going to try to get it for cheaper, right? If he would have said no, I would have still gave him the $6. But he said yes to 4 when I offered him 4. And I was like, great, give me that. And I just kind of like almost snatched it out of his hand because I knew this tank was awesome. It looked really good. And what it's called is the Marineland Silhouette. And it's kind of like an all-in-one tank. I guess the people who had it before were trying to make it into a saltwater tank, and that's probably why they failed and got rid of it, because 3-gallon, a Pico saltwater tank is pretty hard to do, especially just like that, whatever, how they had it. But it comes with this weird stand. It's like a circle, like a half a circle, like a C stand. So it's not actually sitting on anything but its own stand, which is kind of cool, I guess. You would think that you wouldn't like it, but after a while I'm like, yeah, actually I like how it looks. Has built-in LEDs, kind of cheap LEDs, very low light tank as it is. You could also take out the whole tank off of this stand. It'll look pretty cool too, but it'll make it look a lot smaller. So with this thing on it, in the stand, it makes it look a lot nicer and bigger than what it really is, because once you remove that and just sit the tank on your countertop or whatever, it's really a small tank. But $4, you can't beat it. I'm just trying to get a nice little tank for my nightstand. I had a tank before. I think I posted a video of how I de-rimmed that tank. It was a 5-gallon standard tank, but I just got rid of it. That same day, actually, I took it to the swap meet, and I was like, I'll just get rid of it. I think I gave it away for like $4 or something like that. Same amount as this, so I didn't really have an issue with like getting rid of it or anything. I didn't want to keep it anymore. I was kind of bored. I didn't like how it looked. And once I got this one, like I said, I was like, oh yeah, I'll just sell the other one for sure. So yeah, I'm just trying to, this is my nightstand, and this tank looks really cool here. I have a lot of plans for it. It was initially going to be a temporary tank because I was going to trade this tank for something else. But that trade's still going to happen. I'm going to trade my 15-gallon Aqua Japan tank. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. My 15-gallon Aqua Japan tank is going to be traded for a different tank, and that'll be a different video. I'm super excited for that, and I'll show you that later in the future. For now, I wanted to explain a few things about these tanks. If you ever come across a tank like this, or the Fluval Spec 3, or the Fluval Spec 5, similar tanks where they have like an all-in-one system like this, be careful when you buy it used. Make sure you have all the parts. Otherwise, you can still get it to work. Like I use a hang on the back filter, but the way these tanks work is they typically have slits in the back where the water can flow through. And this one has that one, and some back there. You can kind of see them right there. Water flows through, and you should have a sponge or sponge media or some kind of media back there. And it'll basically filter itself through and make its way to the left. And on the left, you'll have a water pump that shoots everything back. So it shoots all the water back through this little outlet through here. Now, in my situation, especially with this tank and the Spec 3 that I have on my desktop, I had the same problem. I had no tube that connects the water pump to this. And finding a tube that fits that is a pretty big job. I went to the local Home Depot. They didn't have anything to fit. not only do I need the tube, I also need a right angle adapter that adapts to that. I mean, connects to that. And I don't have that. So even if I was able to get a hose or something that worked, I would still need to find a way to manufacture that or whatever. And getting a replacement tube is like a $35, $40 investment from Marineland, and they don't give you the right angle. So I would just have a tube for $35. So I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I just put a tiny little hang-on back filter, and with this little lid, it kind of doesn't really show it to you. I mean, I guess the pipe you can see, but everything else is pretty nice. I'm okay with it. And once I have plants in there, I probably won't even look at the filter anymore. So this tank, super excited for it. Marineland Silhouette. Initially I was going to, actually I had already ordered Hygrophila pinnatophyta. I'll just call it pinnatophyta. Stop saying Hygrophila. I don't even know how to say it correctly. But the thing about pinnatophyta is you can attach it to rocks and wood if you get the, what do they call, like the runners. If you get the runners, you can actually super glue them to wood and stuff, and they keep running on your wood and stuff, and they look really nice attached. If you don't get runners, if you just get stems, you risk getting immersed plants, right? You have to then convert to submerged. You might lose some right there, and it'll take forever because pinnatophyta takes forever to melt. Then you have to have such good conditions for the plant to actually send runners, you know, to the sides. And then the runners you're gonna attach. So it was a big deal getting runners for those. A lot of people don't sell them. So I was able to contact a guy who sells pinnatophyta, and I asked him, he sent me 10 runners, super excited. Then it turned out that they got lost in the mail. So they're lost in the mail. He's gonna send me some replacement ones, but they're gonna be stems now. And now I'm kind of screwed. I didn't wanna have to deal with all that, and now I'm dealing with it. So I'm gonna have to really baby the pinnatophyta and get him to shoot out runners so that I can even start that process. So the stems that I'm gonna get, I'm probably gonna pop over to my Cobalt 8-gallon tank where my shrimps are at, and just hope that they do really good, and then eventually bring them over here. So most likely what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna attach anubias to all these. If I find a Buse plant here and there that's cheap, I'll get it. But Buse plants are pretty expensive for just tiny little pieces. It's like $10 to $15, depending on what strain. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Whereas anubias, there's some eBay sellers that'll send you like a good amount for like 20, 25 bucks. You know, so there's that. Also, my dad has a bunch of anubias Nano growing in his tank that I might just go over there and trim off of his tanks and just bring them over here. But that's this tank, guys. Marineland Silhouette. I think it's a good tank. If my filter was working, this would be an even better tank. I really like how it looks on my stand. You got to see a little bit of my zoom out right now as my daughter yelled at me. It's a good low profile tank. I think it only measures about, I think it was like 10 inches wide or something like that, or maybe 8 actually. And stay tuned for my other video. I'm going to be talking about a new tank that I just got in that I'm really excited about. And it's going to take me a while to set up the other one because it's a kind of a pricey endeavor to set up a new tank, especially if you really want to set it up right. I'm going to have to go get Fluval Stratum or probably ADA, Amazonia, and probably a new light. I'm not really sure. But look forward to that. Like and subscribe if you can. And I'll see you on the next video.